trade leaders with China for a week? I want a 7-day trial before we fully buy in. The Kate Daly Show starts now.
I, Kamala Harris, senior Democrat candidate for president, because Joe Biden finally exposed his senility at the debate. Thanks, Joe. I was selected because I am the ultimate diversity hire. I'm both a woman and a person of color. So if you criticize anything I say, you're both sexist and racist. I may not know the first thing about running the country, but remember, that's a good thing if you're a deep state puppet. I had 4 years under the tutelage of the ultimate deep state puppet, a wonderful mentor, Joe Biden. Joe taught me rule number 1, carefully hide your total incompetence. I take insignificant things and I discuss them as if they're significant. And I believe that exploring the significance of the insignificant is in itself significant. Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time, and there is such great significance to the passage of time. Another trick is trying to sound black. I pretend to celebrate Kwanzaa, and in my speeches, I always do my best Barack Obama impression. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. And okay, look, maybe my work addressing the root causes of the border crisis were catastrophic, but my knowledge of international politics is truly shocking. The United States shares a very important relationship, which is an alliance with the Republic of North Korea. It is an alliance that is strong and enduring. And just remember, when voting this November, it is important to see what can be unburdened by what has been. And by what has been, I mean, Joe Biden. You think the country went to over the past 4 years? You ain't seen nothing yet.
I give you Kamala. Oh, man, I think it was Elon that dropped that. Welcome to your Wednesday, and Susan is out today. I interviewed Tina Peters. Tina Peters, this is a very, very important interview, okay? Because she is going to trial starting today, or yesterday, I'm sorry. Started the trial yesterday, and she is being brought up on the most ridiculous charges. She is a Mesa County recorder, so she was the one in charge of all of the election, the votes, the tallies, and she honestly understood what was going on with a lot of the fraud, and now they're crucifying her, completely crucifying her. They're doing about everything that they can do to her. It's alarming. It's amazing. Just wait till you hear what's been going on in her life, how they have tried to decimate her, and what they're going to be putting her through. She's facing over 20 years because they do not want this information out. So I give you Tina Peters. She's going to describe her role, what she actually did, how she's being painted, what's happened to her, and the process that she found when looking at the actual votes. When you put the vote into the machine, what's going on? And you're going to be blown away. This is Tina. Here we go.
What happened was, let me see where I can even start.
Tell
Kate.
people your position, first of all, in Mesa.
Okay.
Tell people, start there and then how this progressed.
Yeah, because it's been a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I was the elected clerk and recorder for Mesa County, Colorado. I'd been a business owner for 32 years. I decided I want to give back and, serve the community. I was a cancer survivor. I lost my son, Remington Jordan Peters. He was a Navy SEAL. So I'm a Gold Star mom. And, I really wanted to give back to the community and decided to run for the toughest office in the county, which is over 5 divisions. They're over recording. So all your deeds and land titles and things like that go through there. I was over the Board of County Commissioners, their recordings for their sessions, and motor vehicle license and registrations, and accounting. And the one that I'm being persecuted for is elections. So I conducted all the elections, whether they were local municipal elections all the way up to the federal elections. So the 2020 came and went. Trump won in my county. Not much to see there, or so I thought. My constituents, who were my boss, came to me with anomalies they wanted me to look at, they wanted me to explain, and I just said, you don't need to worry about anything here. We're the gold standard. Colorado's the gold standard. We're not connected to the internet, and so on and so forth. Well, what I found was, Kate, that was all a lie. Mm-hmm. In the April 6, 2021 election, when I pulled those results, I said, there's no way. I know my constituents. I know this county. These people were not elected. And then the next month, the Secretary of State and Dominion voting systems were coming in to do what they called a trusted build. Isn't it interesting how things that are so nefarious can be given names like that? But and I wouldn't have been so suspicious because they had already done one right after I was elected. But you figure the vendors coming in, they're going to update the security software and all that, those kind of things, do patches, upgrade and to a better whatever. So I never really thought anything. This time was different. I'd had people coming to me, questioning me. I'd seen what happened at the municipal election, and then they started getting really secretive. So the Secretary of State started telling me I couldn't have the public in, I couldn't have the press in, that it was closed to everybody, and they had told me they were going to delete an important election record. And as the recorder and the keeper of the records, I knew that would be in violation of state and federal law. So I went to my county. I asked them, would they help me? Would they have someone come in to observe? And I got denied everywhere I looked. So I ended up commissioning an outside professional cyber expert to come in and do what we call a forensic image. So forensic image is just a snapshot of what the election management system looked like at that period of time, which was May 23rd of 2021, and then what it looked like after they left on May 26th, they meaning the Secretary of State and Dominion. When a few months later it was leaked that I had done this, mm-hmm. and all hell broke loose. The Secretary of State freaked out. They sent in the local law enforcement and DA. They raided my office. I was flown to Texas for my protection. My hotel room was physically broken into. After that, I had 24/7 security, armed security. And then we came out with the first report. There is a total of 3 reports that are actually on my website, tinapeters.us. And the first report showed that they had deleted 29,000 vital election records. Kate, these are not, and just keep in mind too, because people get a little confused that don't know the election equipment. This was not, this was just the election management system, the vote tabulation system, the Dominion voting system, if you will. A lot of people have ES&S, Hard-Enter or Civic. It doesn't matter. They're all on the same chassis. They're all on the Smartmatic chassis. So this was 29,000 vital election records. There weren't any voter information, no PII, personal identifying information. These were access and audit log files and adjudication files. So by law, you have to preserve audit files so you can do an audit. You have to preserve access log files that show who went in and out of the system so you can track any kind of activity, and adjudication log files. You can't even do an audit to prove how you got the results without these log files. 29,000 were deleted. And in the report that's on my website, you'll see them in orange, the way it was before, the way it was after, the comparison of the two. That was in September. October, I was prevented from seeing my husband of almost 35 years. They got someone to come in, do a power of attorney, keep me out of the nursing home. The next month, my my home was raided November 16th of 2021 by the FBI. First thing in the morning, pre-dawn raid, rifled through all my late son's personal effects. He was a Navy SEAL. He died while I was running for office of clerk and recorder.
So sorry. But for what was their reason that they gave you to raid your home? What were they?
They don't need to get a reason. They were on a fishing expedition. They wanted to they wanted to grab any electronic device that I've ever owned. So they took backups to all my computers. I think it was like 30 thumb drives. They took, everything, all my pictures, all my computers, phones that I'd ever had, everything, if you can imagine. Oh. So after that, the day after that, I talked to my husband on the phone. And we would usually FaceTime because with his Parkinson's, it was hard to understand him and they wouldn't let me to go visit him. And so he said, honey, I think I did something wrong. And I said, what do you think you did? And I'm thinking, oh, this is the day after I just got raided by the FBI, and I don't want him to worry. And so I didn't want to tell him that. And he says, well, there were some people here and I signed something. I said, honey, what do you think you signed? He goes, I don't know, but I don't think it was good.
Oh, no.
So I said, what do you want me to do? He said, contact our attorneys. So I contacted our attorneys, told them what was going on. The attorney said that the DA had contacted him and told him not to help me because I was under investigation. So 1 month later, I find out that he signed divorce papers. And it was 1 month before our 35th wedding anniversary. I was married almost 35 years to the same man. And now I was divorced. All my veterans benefits, all my ability to care for him. They took him away in December, just a couple. They took him away right before Christmas and to Arkansas, and I wasn't allowed to see him. Finally, I found him. And this is an article on my website, tinapeters.us. I was interviewed by Capital Times Magazine, and I went find him. I'd heard he had fallen. I just felt God saying, "You got to go." I didn't know how I was going to get to see him. I walked into the facility. It actually had the code on the outside of the door.
I'll be right back. More with Tina Peters. Goes to trial. Went to trial starting Tuesday. Be right back. You're going to want to hear this. I promise. Be right back. KateDalleyRadio.com.
Thanks for listening to The Kate Daly Show. All opinions expressed by the